We got Ivan Maldanado. Plus a cold one.
One time from a city like.
Before we get into it real quick, man, can you give everybody a rundown on who you are and why we should even be listening to you? You know what I'm saying? You've been around a little bit.
Yeah, well, my name is Ivan Maldanado, former head brewer for Three Punk Ales, former lead brewer for Fall Brewing Company, brewer for Coronado Brewing Company, for Belgian Brewer. I've been around for almost 10 years with home brewing and professional brewing. And, you know, I've had the privilege to brew with a lot of great people and brew a lot of really good, tasty beers. You know.
Yes, you have. I think you downplayed it a little bit, but, you know, that's all good. Hey, should I get your name wrong?
Ivan Maldanado is my real name, but Ivan Silenos is my Instagram name.
Okay, cool, cool. That's what's important.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it like you did because I'll fuck it up. Time for some quick fire questions with Ivan. Now, how long have you been brewing?
Professionally, almost 8 years, and then home brewing for about 10 years.
You started out in your own living room, your own house?
I actually started out with some friends that came over to a poker. We were playing poker at my house, and I've always been into craft beer, and they were like, dude, we're going to start making beer at my house. Do you want to join us? I'm like, sure.
Your house smells good, huh?
It always smells good. It smells like hops
Nice and hoppy.
Nice and hoppy and grains.
Nice and hoppy.
Yeah,
how would you categorize San Diego as a craft beer community in comparison to either the country or the world or whatever?
I mean, to me, San Diego is probably the capital of craft beer.
Oh,
you know, and right now it's been going a little, you know, like for everybody else, a little tough. But for a while there, I mean, we were crushing it.
Yeah.
Anywhere we went, like we took the medals. You know, we had 150 something breweries at the time. So
we were at the Bellas one day, and you were breaking down the Classic IPA.
Yeah,
it was an original IPA.
It was from
like that.
Liberty Ale from San Francisco.
Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, so that's one of the first beers that I guess they used American hops Cascade, and it created a different characteristic. So you had a little bit more bitterness and a little bit more aroma compared to regular, you know, more you're used to like a Pilsner or a lager, kind of like that. So when they did this with their kind of home strain of yeast, it just created this, you know, addiction to hops, and we started just using it more and more and more and more, and it just became out of control IPAs. I
saw you out with a Classic Coors.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, the dude must, you gotta love the classics.
Yeah, Banquet's great beer. Yellow Bellies, you know, I kind of grew up drinking that with my dad. You know, so it was that, and they got this.
So what takes you in 10 years to be behind all these great beers? I mean, you know.
Well, I got to learn from a lot of great people, and I got to work at a lot of different companies, you know, so I got to meet a lot of what I consider, like, you know, the best brewers in San Diego and probably the world, and they taught me a lot, you know, and I always paid attention, took notes, you know,
That's
picked people's brains, and kind of took their style and made it my style, and still combining, like, everything they taught me, so it just became pretty easy for me to do. You know?
A lager is a lager, right? So
Well,
there's only so much you can do with it.
I mean, lagers, like if you want a malty one, you can go for a double bock. You can go for a Maibach. Those are still lager styles, but they're just way maltier and bigger.
Okay.
So there's like 6%ers, 8%ers.
Okay.
You know, you have ice box that are about 12 to 14%.
Yeah.
And there's still lagers too. So there's a lot of lager characteristics. Like there's about, if I'm correct, there's about 30 styles of lagers or something like that. So there's like Danish lagers, Mexican lager. You have European malty beer.
You got a favorite?
Yeah, my favorite beer probably in at least top 3 is Eyinger Double Bock from Germany.
Is that right? Oh shit!
I've always been a fan of double box, and that's my next tattoo.
My bad.
Real quick, when you refer to it as a double bock, can you please break that down?
So a double bock is pretty much imperial version of a Maibach. It's just a stronger bock version. So it's going to range from 6.8 to about 8% alcohol, and it's a little bit like that ruby kind of dark amber color.
That's what I like.
It smells like raisins. It's got like this beautiful. It's called liquid bread, pretty much. So you're drinking this
liquid
nice
bread.
I'll try to find some and I'll bring you guys some.
That'd be dope.
That's when
I
first
like
saw the
that.
bread.
That'd be great for the next
Do you,
one.
as a brewer, do you prefer, I mean, this might be a dumb question, but draft, bottle?
I think it all depends. I mean, there's bottles that are bottle conditioned that are going to be a lot better than draft, and then there's draft that's going to. I mean, usually if it'd be like something local, yeah, I'll probably go with draft. You know, it's always a lot better. Clean lines always makes it a lot better. So.
Is there too much hops? I mean, because
I would have too much hops.
Never too much hops.
If you know how to do them right, there's
Next
never
question.
too much hops. Yeah.
Apparently, you hate pozole.
I do.
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'll take birria. I'll take menudo. I'll
Well,
take all that shit.
I'm
Pero
a
pinche
pozole connoisseur. Like, what is it that you don't like
It's
about
not a fucking
pozole?
soup.
Is it a soup? Is it a fucking stew? Is it a fucking casserole? Like, I don't know.
It's good.
It's not good. I just, you know, it's like way too much shit going on for me. And they give you like the corn and still give you tortillas and chips. Like, this is like, hell no. It's unbalanced.
Now, how do you decipher a really, really bad, bad brew? And how do you break that down in your own tasting notes?
Well, there's classes you can take. I'm a certified beer judge. I've been taking, so I've been judging for a couple of years.
Hold on.
That's a cold one.
We got a plus a
That's
cold
a
one to
cold
a
one.
certified beer judge. Yo, we don't play around. Plus a cold one, baby.
Sir.
Yeah, I've been judging for quite a few years now. So there's depending on the beer you're tasting, certain characteristics you don't want. Like if it's something, usually the most easiest one to find is like if it tastes like butterscotch or popcorn, you know it's like diacetyl, and that's a really, really bad thing in your beer.
Okay.
So there's oxidation too, which is really bad. It tastes like kind of pennies, or it tastes like the cardboard.
Yeah.
So you know it's there's a lot of different scientific words for them. I usually just go simple ways, like whatever reminds me of what it was. Like, you know, if it's like, oh my god, this tastes like, you know.
So basically, if it
like,
tastes like a Corona Extra, you gotta just toss that to the side.
But that's the one thing, that Corona Extra, you wanted it to taste like that because it's supposed to taste like that.
Those were quick fire questions with Ivan.